All right, let's dive in. This is going to be a deep exploration of how you can boost your focus and energy in just 5 minutes using tools grounded in neuroscience and real-world application. I'm going to walk you through the science, why it works, and exactly what to do. So imagine this. It's early in the morning, or maybe you're stuck in the middle of the day after a long meeting or a heavy lunch, and your brain feels foggy. You know that task is waiting for you, but your body and mind are dragging. You want to get into that sharp mental state fast, that moment when everything clicks, time disappears, and your thoughts become laser focused. Wouldn't it be great if you could snap into that mode, not with caffeine or stimulants, but with something your nervous system already has built in? Well, guess what you can. And it only takes about 5 minutes. Let me explain how the key to unlocking that focused, energized state lies in understanding how your autonomic nervous system works. Now, most people think of energy as just being awake versus sleepy or alert versus tired. But from a neuroscientific perspective, energy and focus are more than that. They're about how your sympathetic and parasympathetic systems interact. Your sympathetic nervous system is responsible for activating your body, increasing heart rate, dilating pupils, sharpening attention, and getting you ready to move, act, or respond. Meanwhile, the parasympathetic nervous system helps you slow down, recover, and conserve energy. To get that boost in energy and focus, we want to temporarily shift toward activation, but not too much, because too much stimulation leads to anxiety and scattered thinking. The trick is finding that sweet spot where you feel energized, alert, and in control. And one of the fastest ways to activate that optimal state is through a specific kind of breathing pattern. Not just any breathing, a type called cyclic hyperventilation followed by retention, which is essentially a short sequence of controlled breaths that stimulate the sympathetic nervous system while also triggering a brief oxygen reset in the brain. This method was studied at Stanford and other institutions and has been shown to increase levels of norepinephrine, a neurotransmitter that sharpens focus, increases vigilance, and enhances mood. It also boosts carbon dioxide tolerance, improves mental clarity, and helps you break free from a foggy mental state. Here's how to do it. You'll start by sitting or standing upright. Sit tall, chest open, shoulders back. Take a full breath in through your nose, then exhale fully through your mouth. That's just a baseline breath to set yourself up. Now comes the cycle. Take 25 to 30 rounds of rapid, forceful inhales through your nose, followed by passive exhalations. Don't worry about timing each breath perfectly. Just breathe quickly and deliberately, almost like you're panting in a controlled way. Let your body naturally fall into rhythm. After your final exhalation, hold your breath and pull your shoulders back slightly. Hold until you feel that natural urge to breathe again, usually around 10 to 15 seconds. This is called a retention phase, and it's where part of the magic happens. Then take one big full breath in all the way into your belly and chest and hold it for 5 to 10 seconds before slowly exhaling. That's one round. Do this once and within minutes, you'll likely feel a noticeable shift. Your mind becomes clearer, your heart starts to beat a little faster, and suddenly you feel like you can tackle anything. All from just 5 minutes of structured breathing. But here's the interesting part. This isn't just some mystical technique pulled out of thin air. There's actual neurophysiological mechanisms at play. When you do these rounds of cyclic hyperventilation, you're increasing oxygen flow and reducing carbon dioxide levels in the blood. That triggers a slight alkaline shift in the blood pH, which makes norepinephrine more available in the brain. At the same time, the retention phase activates chemoreceptors that send signals to the brainstem, further enhancing alertness and focus. And since this protocol doesn't involve any drugs, no coffee, no supplements, it's completely safe when done correctly and can be used multiple times a day without crashes or jitters. In fact, I've personally used this tool dozens of times before giving lectures, starting research sessions, or even before hitting the gym. And every time it gives me that clean, crisp feeling of being locked in and ready to go. Let's step back for a second and talk about the eyes. Yes, your eyes are actually a direct window into your nervous system. Did you know that pupil dilation is one of the clearest indicators of sympathetic activation? When your brain detects a demand, whether it's physical, emotional, or cognitive, your pupils dilate to take in more visual information. That's part of the reason why when you're stressed or hyper-focused, your vision seems sharper, more intense. By doing the breathing technique I just described, you're essentially telling your brain there's an urgent demand happening right now, which causes that shift in your entire physiology. And that's why you feel so alert afterward. What's even cooler is that this response is evolutionarily conserved, meaning our ancestors had the same capability. If they needed to switch from rest to action in a split second, say spotting a predator or chasing prey, their nervous system would kick into high gear instantly. We may not need to run from predators anymore, but we still have the same nervous system. So why not use it to our advantage? Another important component of this protocol is posture. I mentioned sitting or standing straight, and that's not just for aesthetics. Posture directly affects how your diaphragm moves, how deeply you can breathe, and how well your nervous system sends signals throughout the body. When you slouch, your diaphragm is restricted. That means less oxygen intake, slower respiratory exchange, and reduced norepinephrine release. But when you sit or stand tall, your lungs expand more fully, your breathing becomes deeper, and your nervous system gets a stronger signal to wake up and pay attention. So always pair this breathing exercise with good posture, not just during the practice, but also for the rest of your day. It'll help reinforce the neural pathways that support sustained energy and focus beyond those 5 minutes. Now, what if you're someone who struggles with anxiety or panic attacks? Is this tool still safe for you? Here's the thing. While this method does activate the sympathetic nervous system, it's designed to be a controlled and intentional activation. For most people, especially those without diagnosed panic disorders or severe anxiety, this is a manageable and empowering experience. However, if you have a history of panic attacks or are particularly sensitive to changes in breathing patterns, I recommend starting with a gentler version. Instead of doing 25-30 rounds, try 10-15. Or reduce the retention time at the end, listen to your body, adjust accordingly, and over time you'll find what works best for you. Also, don't forget that safety and consistency matter. Do this in a place where you feel secure, ideally seated if you're new to it. And remember, the goal is not to push past discomfort, it's to use breath as a lever to access better states of mind. One last point. Combining this breathing method with cold exposure can enhance the effect even further. Cold exposure, even just splashing cold water on your face or taking a cold shower for 10-20 seconds, activates the diving reflex, which paradoxically increases oxygen efficiency and enhances alertness. It also triggers a strong dopamine release, which contributes to improved mood and motivation. So if you really want to level up your 5-minute routine, finish your breathing session by splashing cold water on your face or stepping into a cold shower for a few seconds. You'll thank yourself later. The beauty of this protocol is that it's accessible, free, and doesn't require any special equipment. Unlike stimulants or quick fixes that come with side effects or crashes, this method uses your own biology to create a sustainable, healthy boost in both focus and energy. So next time you're feeling sluggish, unfocused, or mentally drained, give this 5-minute tool a try. Use your breath, your posture, and your nervous system to reset your brain and supercharge your day. You might be surprised how powerful 5 minutes can be. Remember, your nervous system is not just a survival mechanism, it's your greatest asset for performance, resilience, and clarity. And with the right tools, you can tap into its full potential whenever you need to. So go ahead, breathe, stand tall, and take control.